The temple that Guruji built, away, far away from the glamour of New Delhi, lies a place where people's souls can be charged and their hearts seduced with beauty. Here, the air is fresh, the grass is green, and the eye brought up short by a gleaming white marble structure mounted by a massive granite linga. The linga proclaims that this place is a seat of Lord Shiva. It climbs to the sky, prophesying the rise of Shiva Dharma, or righteousness, and a new dawn of religious consciousness. A figurine of Lord Ganesha, intelligence personified, greets the fortunate visitor to whom the temple doors have opened. Ahead of it, a beautiful statue in the front garden shows Lord Shiva as a handsome, fair youth, as fair as camphor, embodiment of mercy. He is the essence of the word, garlanded with serpents. May he, the father and the mother, forever live in our hearts. Our fulsome salutations to them. Karpur Gauram, Karuna Avtaram, Sansara Saram, Bhujgendra Heram, Sada Vasantam, Hridar Vinde, Bhavan Bhavani, Sahitam Namami. His white kind eyes are open, his face is relaxed in a half smile, and his hand is raised to grant blessings. His seat is an enormous open lotus flower, and he has for his canopy the five-headed serpent. Inside the complex, a gleaming brass visage of the great Lord shows him in the same posture. Significantly, Shiva, the supreme yogi, is not meditating. He is on his tiger mat and has just uncrossed one of his legs, ready to look into the problems of his devotees. The sacred words, Om Namah Shivaya, are emblazoned inside the main hall. They offer an immortal promise that Lord Shiva's and indeed Guruji's help is at hand to anyone who but trusts him. The making of the structure, that these grounds are indeed Lord Shankara's, is borne out by the numerous incidents that have been witnessed by those involved in its construction and those who frequent the temple. When the mandir was being built, the work faced many challenges, and each time these challenges were overcome miraculously, showing Guruji's involvement in every detail. At first, the ground had to be cleared of the scrubs, trees, and boulders before any construction could be started. But around every bush and under every boulder were snakes and more snakes. The laborers hired for the job got frightened and ran away. Undeterred, Raghubir, Guruji's devotee who was overseeing the making of the mandir, hired more laborers. But again, unable to tackle the huge number of snakes, they fled. Finally, Raghubir spoke to Guruji and told him of the problem. Guruji just told him to hire more laborers, assuring him that this problem would not occur again. And indeed, the snakes disappeared from the site and clearing proceeded in peace. The basic construction was undertaken during the rainy season, and yet every time the concrete was to be poured, the rains would obligingly halt. This happened so many times that everyone involved in the construction realized that these happenings were not sheer chance. As Guruji used to say, everything by choice, nothing by coincidence. The architectural design, as created by Guruji's devotee Ajay Bhardwaj, had to have the shivling superstructure above the dome of the temple. This would have been easy if the shivling had a solid base, but the dome could not have taken the weight of a solid shivling, and moreover, a hollow base would draw all eyes upwards into the shivling, reminding us that we are within Guruji's Sharan. There was only one mason in Delhi who had the ability to do this, but he was in very difficult circumstances. How Raghubir managed to find this particular person and how this person was able to build this shivling is another satsang in itself. Enough to say here that the sheer beauty of the architectural and engineering feats on display are testaments of Guruji's grace. The Bade Mandir is his seat of spirituality, the favored land of Shiva and Nanak. Here, Omkar and Om are one, reflecting of each other timelessly. The temple welcomes the spirit of man forever, and he smiles at all who come. He blesses again and again, and yet again, and the light of divinity shines ever brighter. Even the soil is miraculous. As the mandir and its surroundings were developed, it was clear that the place was indeed favored by Lord Shiva. Even to the casual observer, the growth of the plants and trees was exceptional. A lady planted at the temple a few of the flowering plants she had bought for her farmhouse. To her amazement, these plants bloomed into flowers of at least twice the size in the mandir as compared with those planted at her farmhouse. Once permission was sought from Guruji to have the lawn grass recarpeted. He gave his go ahead, but there was not much time left. A temple function was fast approaching. The temple gardener went ahead with the task. Once the grass was laid down, it was clear that the decision was not correct on two counts. More time should have been given for appreciable growth of the new carpet of grass, and the variety that had been selected was one that tends to cut the feet initially and become soft only after the first cutting, which was out of question due to paucity of time. However, to everyone's amazement, the grass grew exceptionally fast. The first cutting was taken up well before the function, and the growth was so good that another trimming was managed just before the function. The quality of the carpeted lawn on the day of the function was admirable, and the gurus of grass growing were stumped. Guruji is always there. There are other inexplicable goings on in the mandir that hint at a supernatural force going about its benign work. Regular visitors to the temple have witnessed the idol of Lord Shiva on the temple grounds changing expressions. And in year 2006, during Holi, there was a spot of color on Shivji's brass idol that adorns the hall. It is also certain the omniscient Guru has the temple within his protective gaze at all times. A school teacher recounts a memorable experience. She had gone to the mandir very early on the occasion of Guru Purnima so that she could attend school later. She reached the mandir at 6:15 a.m. Only the gardener saw her come to pay her obeisance to her guru on the auspicious day. And, as was later confirmed, he told no one of the visit. But someone else had also seen her. On the teacher's very next visit to Empire State, Guruji called her and said, Auntie, you had visited the mandir on Guru Purnima at 6:15 a.m. I was watching you in my meditation. Renaissance of faith. Ages hence, men shall look upon this sacred spot as the birthplace of Dharma. Within our own lifetimes, the Bade Mandir shall rise foremost in the estimation of men. It shall herald a new dawn of spiritual consciousness and inaugurate through the men, women, and children. It blesses an era of goodwill among mankind and peace among neighbors. For behold, the Shivling has risen again. Its ascension proclaims the coming of deliverance. Those oppressed by the iron hand of fate shall be released from the miserable bondages of disease and ignorance. Those bound and subjugated by rampant evil shall find new strength and courage and win. The ocean of suffering shall be humbled by the small boat of faith and courage that braves its way through, its oars being the Sadguru's word and his grace. Om Namah Shivaya. The wayfarers shall cry, Shivji Sada Sahai, and they shall find safe harbor in times of crisis and moments of searing agony. These words emblazoned in the temple, branded in their hearts and minds through Guruji's labor, shall be their battle cry, their friend, their protector, their love, their soul guiding light. Adharma shall be caught at its climax, and they shall be saved. The mandir shall be the salvation of those who struggle through the material and psychological debris of a civilization at war with itself. Guruji's grace manifesting through the temple will heal them. In times to come, the mandir will testify to his being. The winds of the world shall carry his word. His will be done, and the temple will remain as his, Lord Shiva's, mark of mercy on earth. May Lord Shiva allow all to come to his sacred grounds. May he grant all the wishes of those who come, and may the Sadguru forever keep us in his Sharan.